Hello, and welcome to the inaugural pilot episode of What I Am Playing Now.
I thought it was
My name is
playing now.
What did I say?
You said what I am. You broke the
All right, so I screwed up the damn name that I came up with. Sue me. What I'm Playing Now. It's our pilot episode. My name is Joe Luzzi. With me is a co-host from another show, Greg Martin. How you doing tonight, Greg?
I'm peachy, man.
Sweet.
I'm sweating bricks.
All right, so what I'm playing now. So what is this? What I'm playing now is going to be a video and board game podcast that Greg and I are starting to put out. And we don't have our other third host with us, Brian, who normally does Linux install with us. But that's all right. We'll get by with just two of us, I think, on this show.
That's right. That's right, Joe. We will survive. We will carry on. And we are going to keep doing the Linux install one, but you and I happen to break away from that conversation on that show so often with gaming things and have too many candid conversations off camera to have not started something like this, and this is actually long overdue.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, even Brian said when I told him about the idea of us doing a gaming podcast, he was like, I'm surprised it took the two of you this long to actually start one.
What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Well, I mean, it's at the end of every show, at the end of every Linux install, we usually sit around for about a half hour to an hour or so or longer talking video games. I mean, sometimes we even pull video games into the Linux install show. So I think it's definitely time for us to do something with games. And this is something I've been wanting to do for a while anyway, to talk about video games. And not only video games, but also board games as well. We're going to try to go for a much, much broader type of game style. Pretty much any type of game you can play. Basically, what you're playing now is what we're going to be discussing on the show. We're going to do this on a weekly basis, usually Monday nights. Not too sure of a time yet, but Monday nights is going to be the time that I think we both agreed to doing this weekly.
Yeah.
Probably going to start off with some news, just some general industry news for gaming and everything like that. Probably go into what I'm playing now, and then just do a wrap-up. I mean, so we're not expecting this podcast to be anything that's going to be an hour or 2 hours long. Just basically talk about the name of the show, what I'm playing now.
Joe, you already messed up again. This is going to be a 5-hour podcast.
We cannot do a 5-hour podcast because what we need to do is we need to break up all of the banter that we are going to have and all the little chit-chat and all the little histories of stuff we played over the years into many episodes and not just one. Because I've already thought about that. I mean, we could sit here and talk about what was the first game you played, what was the first system you played, and stuff like this. And I've been playing games for many, many years. I mean,
what you're telling me, Joe, is you're old.
Well, that I wouldn't say I'm that old. But, let's just say I do have a few years on you, if you can't tell from the gray now.
Like gray hair.
So, that's all right. It makes you look distinguished.
It does. You look like a very distinguished, well-seasoned man.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Now you're fucking just bullshitting me. So we might as well just.
Meanwhile, I look like I could go around the block a few more times.
Yeah, I think there's a little water behind your ear. You got a little towel next to you or something? You need to dry up there a little bit. So since this is our pilot episode, I guess one of the first things we could talk about is some of our history. I guess we should go into that. I mean, we won't try to drag it out too long or get too boring with it or whatever. Board games. I'm an old school D&D player. I played D&D back in grade school, high school. I even played some D&D in college. I haven't played many pen and paper role-playing games, though, after college, although I would like to get back into some. I know one that seems to be a little popular nowadays is Pathfinder. That seems to be a pretty decent RPG, and from what I've heard, and they have a pretty decent system out. Video game-wise, I've pretty much done it all. My first console was an Odyssey 2 from Magnavox. I mean, I've had most of the little handhelds that you could pick up at Sears back in the day. My parents got me the little handhelds with the little dash lines on there, the football, the car racing, baseball. you name it. Yeah, I pretty much probably had it video game wise. Also computer wise. I've always had a computer in front of me ever since I went down and started programming on the Trash 80 when I was probably 12 years old down at the local library. I mean, and that's pretty much where I started learning programming and getting into games, just writing text adventures in basic programming and saving everything to a cassette tape. So there you go. Now you know my age. I save shit to cassette tape. Okay?
You know
I
what?
was around before fucking floppies, bitch.
You didn't have to go that far back, and now you just rat-holed yourself.
So
Yes, my name's Joe. I am old.
When I say a TRS-80, people are going to be like, holy crap. Yeah,
I
and
think
no, it wasn't at the end of them either. It was, you know, when they were just coming out and in their prime. So
No, I think the problem was when you actually sort of slurred the acronym to Trash 80. I think that's when you showed your age.
Or that I was programming in BASIC.
I don't think that would have been too bad. I think the Trash 80 is what did it, honestly.
So yeah, Trash 80. My first computer was a Texas Instruments, which I'm probably going to talk about in episodes. I still have that at my parents' house, which I actually need to get over here and try to hook up and see if it still works.
Yeah.
I still do have a Commodore 128 hooked up behind the sheet here. That's hidden from view. And yes, it still works. I still do play some games on that occasionally.
Wow.
Yes, there are floppy disks I have that are probably older than you that actually still function. God,
Unlike me,
sucks.
Unlike me, which I don't function anymore.
So I do. Yeah, I play pretty much the gambit of everything. What about you, Greg? Give us a little rundown.
Obviously, my history with gaming is clearly not as storied as yours already, and I feel completely inadequate doing this podcast now. I feel like I should just take a step back and let somebody older than me take the reins. Actually, my video gaming started when I was 2. That's when I received my first NES. I was really big into
2.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Not sure what spurred my parents to do that, really, but I can't say I can be mad at them for that, because it introduced me to a whole wonderful world of being absorbed in front of the TV and being a social hermit crab. So, growing up not having any friends, and the only viewport of the world is a Tanuki suit in Super Mario Brothers 3. And when you try to tell your friends that you can fly when you dress up like a raccoon, yeah, that tends to not go over well. So, yeah, I started with the NES. Really, really big into that. I think one of my favorite games when I was younger was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the arcade game. Not the one where the shitty first one where you got to fight guys with chainsaws, but the one that was sort of like the arcade game. That was amazing.
Yeah, we had that. Played it. Yep. Loved it.
These days, I'm going to kind of jump forward a little bit because there's some things I want to save for other episodes. I am a very, very big RPG fan, but I'm a fan of like JRPGs. Excuse me. So things like Chrono Trigger. I'm a massive Chrono Trigger fan.
Cool. That's a series. Chrono Trigger is a series I haven't played, so that's good. You'll be able to supply that. Because I don't know if I've ever played. I might have played some, but that's not a series I really can say is at the top. Something that I'm familiar with. Yeah,
it's kind of a cult thing at this point. I mean, there's been so many ups and downs with that. I mean, people have been clamoring for different kinds of sequels. There was actually an indie project to remake the first game in 3D, and they got a C&D from Square Enix about it. So, but that I can go over that more in different detail. Jumping forward, though, I actually am a very, very big PC gamer. Nowadays, I am. I used to not be. I didn't actually own my first PC until I was 13. A side effect of being extraordinarily poor. But, I'm really, really big into PC games now, like Skyrim, my current love, BioShock Infinite. And those really are just like the kind of games I can sink like 250 hours into and just really not give a second thought about it.
Kind of like me with Asheron's Call.
Yeah, pretty much. But I do love portable games though. I really love my PSP. I know that probably sounds strange to some people.
There was a time where I liked mine.
Now I look at it in disgust.
Now it's just like, what have you done for me lately? Not a damn thing.
That's what she said. Oh, sorry, but I actually don't really get into, with me being as big of a fan of portable gaming as I am, I actually don't get into games on iOS or Android either. I've tried that for a while. I just can't get into it for some reason. And maybe it's just my age. I don't know.
I do a little bit, but most of the games on the phones don't really have the legs to keep me around for any length of time. I mean, I'll sit there and I'll play something maybe for a couple of days, for a few hours a day, and then it's just like, all right, move on to something else. I mean, the depth of some of the games just get kind of too repetitive. There are a couple of games on the phone that I will say are pretty good. But you know, when we get to, well, we can do an episode where we're talking about maybe games on portable devices and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we won't get into too much of that right now.
Yeah, touching on that real quickly, I mean, I've purchased several games for Android. I mean, I did actually buy the Final Fantasy 3 port for Android, which I did finish. It was good, but most of the games are just, I'm not a casual enough gamer to actually get into those kinds of games. I think that's what you were getting at.
Yeah.
It's nothing to keep me entrenched for hours on end, and I think that's what I need. And when I don't get that, I kind of just feel like I need to move on to something else. So, but I actually did for a while there in high school. Jumping back to my history for a bit, I did actually make a couple PC games back in high school. They were clones of older arcade games. Originally, I started out using the Game Maker toolkit, which I'm sure some people would be aware of, but I was using it back in like version 6.5 before Yo-Yo Games took them over. And then I went and started writing them in C, which is my favorite programming language, even though that was an extraordinary pain in the ass. And I haven't written any since. I am working on some ideas for 2 games I'd like to put together, but yeah, it's a hard thing to do, but it's very enjoyable. So, and that's where my history kind of brings me up to, is just PC gaming and writing games for the hell of it in my spare time, and doing this podcast with Joe, and I love all you guys. You guys are amazing.
So, and you know what? I think my duct tape fell.
Your duct tape fell today.
Half of the sheet came down behind me. Oh well, we're just gonna go with it for this episode.
You totally called that, man.
Should have put 2 pieces up there. So
2 pieces of duct tape would have done it.
We're not only going to be discussing video games on this show, but also board games. So, like I said, I was a big D&D fan back in the day. I still do play a lot of board games. I happen to have a wife that is actually a fan of board games as well, and she'll pretty much play just about anything I bring in the house, board game wise. So I'm kind of lucky in that regard. So she will play things like Risk. She will play things like miniature figure games. You name it. I mean, we've played a lot of card games over the years. Zombie Dice is one that we play, but that's just a quick drinking game there. So we will also not only be discussing video games, but also board games to go along with that. So pretty much, like I said at the beginning, pretty much any type of games you can play is what we want to discuss. It's basically just going to be what we're playing now. So.
Right, and one of the first games we wanted to cover was 52 card pickup.
There you go. Where's my deck? I don't have a deck of cards here.
Well, see, this is how we prepare for this. We say we're going to talk about 52 card pickup, and neither of us has a deck of cards.
There you go. I got a bunch of Magic cards behind me, but I'm sure that's not really something.
Count out 52 of those.
There's way too many of those. So
let them fly. Yeah, I would like to do board games too. I unfortunately haven't played that many all that often. It's kind of, well, I live by myself. Unless I'm going to have schizophrenic games where I play Mousetrap with 4 other copies of myself, it's going to be a little difficult to do that.
And I'm trying to do surgery during our first episode here, so let's see if this actually works.
It drove him nuts.
It did. It was driving me nuts.
You hear it flapping in the breeze.
And I'm sure that's not going to hold either, so I'm going to have to next episode fix that. And it's what's hilarious. It's never done that during the Linux install show. Now I'm off the focus.
Just roll with it.
Let's get on with some news stories, shall we?
Let's do it, man.
So we're going to talk about some news stories. We're just going to highlight some things going on in the gaming industry at the time. We can't compete with all the big gaming news sites, but we figure we'll just go over a few stories real quick.
Stuff that interests us, basically, not necessarily trying to rehash everything that's out there,
right.
But stuff that we think would be interesting to us, interesting to anybody who would watch this or listen to it. Nothing like our goal is to go to E3 and cover everything on the floor because we're awesome like that. No. That's not us.
I'm going to PAX East next year. I have tickets for that, but that's about it.
Do you really?
I thought I told you this.
No, you didn't tell me this. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, Kim and I are going to. Kim and I are going to PAX East next year, and I already got 3-day pass. I didn't get the 3-day passes. I got 3 one-day passes for us. The 3-day passes were sold out within a half hour, which is rather ridiculous.
Are they selling them still?
I think one of the only days that they had available was Sunday still.
Oh, damn it.
I hate to say. So.
Damn it.
I bought them an hour or an hour and a half after they went on sale, and I was able to get 3 one-day passes for us. So I was already talking to some friends that I have that live out in Boston, giving me some tips on where to stay. I think we're going to make a road trip out of it. I think Kim and I are going to hop in the car and just drive out there, and we may stop and see some friends in Pennsylvania along the way that we met from playing other games. So we may just make a long, big road trip out of this. So we'll see.
Damn it! I want to go. I was thinking about that. The other thing we should do is try to like find local gaming conventions and just tear them up.
I've been to a couple around the area before. I used to play Magic at some of the conventions around here. I've been to some of the board game conventions around here. So yeah, no, definitely that is something I'd like to get more into as well and start hitting up some more of those. So besides the podcast, though, before we get into news, I guess we do have a website on the way. We're in the groundworks of building that up, and it's basically going to be whatimplayingnow.com. Besides that, we'll probably have some forums for people to stop by and chat, let us know what they're playing, give us some tips on maybe something we should try out, something maybe we've missed. We obviously can't play every single game out there, being board game and video game and stuff, so just let us know what we should keep our eyes out for. And we will let you know what we actually have our eyes out for, because there are some things that I want to play now.
Gee, Joe, the website would be ready if only you had a developer.
Yeah, I know. I
wish I knew one of those.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. Where's your mirror?
You told me to close my closet.
All right, let's get on with the news. So one of the cool stories that I saw popping around the web today was the Humble Bundle people. They are opening a store which is going to have a group of games that are on sale, and it sounds like it's going to change daily. So it looks like it's going to be something like a Steam sale, a small group of games that are on like a Steam sale that are basically being sold through Humble Bundle. It sounds like 10% of the proceeds are going to go to a couple of different charities, which is awesome. I don't know if you've ever bought anything from Humble Bundle. I've actually bought a couple of different bundle packages before. Really good deals. You can pledge what you want. I usually pledge a decent amount and to try to divide it up between a lot of the different selections that they have, just to be fair, to give a little bit to everybody. So it's definitely worthwhile. It's definitely something that you're getting your games a little less than what you would pay for retail, but you're also giving some things to charity and stuff. So I think it's definitely a worthwhile thing.
Yeah, I've never purchased anything personally from the Humble Bundles. I every time I go, I hear about them, and then like, oh, I should go check that out and get them while they're there. And then I go to look at it, and it's completely different. And I'm just like, fuck it, I don't want them now. But that happened to me like 2 or 3 times. I would hear somebody talking about the Humble Bundle, and there was a game on there I wanted to get, and I was just so pumped to get it, and I get home and forget about it, and then the week I go to look for it, it's gone, and I just don't care.
Yeah, I think the bundles are usually around for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think it is, maybe a little longer. And usually after the first couple of days, the first week or so, I think depending on how the sales are doing, they'll usually try to entice you with a few more games. So you can get the initial batch of games for X amount of dollars. If you add a couple more bucks on, you can get these additional games. They'll give you soundtracks to the games if you're into the soundtracks. I know some of the games I've played, I kind of really get into the soundtracks. Ion, the one MMO, had a pretty sweet soundtrack. Elder Scrolls Online, or not Elder Scrolls Online, but the Elder Scrolls 5 just had a really good soundtrack. I don't know if you ever heard that. I had the collector's edition. I think it came with a soundtrack.
That was on Humble Bundle?
No. I'm just talking about games that. Some games in general.
I was like...
Sorry, I segued off the Humble Bundle there for a little bit. I was just talking about games with soundtracks.
When the hell did Bethesda start publishing on Humble Bundle?
No, that wasn't on Humble Bundle. I got a little too crazy there with what I was saying.
These people are going to think they can get Bethesda games on Humble Bundle, and they're going to be
like,
them assholes on what I'm playing now told me I can go get it. Some of the games on here actually look pretty good that are currently on here now look pretty good, and I don't know if these are going to stay on here tomorrow. Well, they're probably not going to. It says new sales coming tomorrow. I'm looking at the store right now. But some of the games are DRM free, which is really cool. I think the only thing I've found weird about these kinds of things is I've actually purchased games from like GOG.com.
Right, good old games.
Yeah.
Yep, I've got some games from them as well.
Maybe it's just me, and maybe I've become so accustomed to having my library managed by Steam. But
yeah, I know where you're going.
Yeah, I hate feeling like I have to manage my own game software. Like, I don't know, it just seems so cumbersome anymore. And the only thing I wanted to say was, that being said, I fucking hate Origin with a passion. Hate Origin.
Not a huge fan of it. I don't know if I would use the word hate. I did purchase SimCity, which was a big mistake this year.
Yeah, I have. So, my really quick, my story with Origin was, I had previously purchased Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2 on Steam, and EA, being the ever-loving dicks that they are, decided that they weren't going to release Mass Effect 3 on Steam. It was going to be an Origin-only thing. So it's like, okay, whatever. Went to a midnight release at GameStop to pick up Mass Effect 3. I'm like, teeing at home, like, yes, I'm going to play Mass Effect 3. Blah. I actually got it before midnight and brought it home. And I think I actually installed the game and went to go fire it up. And then it comes up with this clock checker, like, you can't play this game before 12:01 the next day, bro. Yeah, and I was kind of like, but the client's always been really flaky for me. It just always crashes. It's never stable, and they just don't have any good games on there. I mean, it's an EA-only marketplace. What do you expect?
Right.
The whole thing just makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, it's my first introduction with Origin probably was SimCity this year. I don't think I had ever purchased anything off of there before SimCity, and I kind of wish I really wouldn't have purchased SimCity and saved myself $60 fucking bucks. But that's besides the point. That game was so broken. for the first several weeks.
That's what you were saying. I haven't played it yet. Now,
there is a new expansion coming out.
Right.
The new expansion does look pretty cool. I loaded up the game a little while ago. I tried to start a new region, but I just haven't been able to get back into it after the first couple that I had started originally during those first couple weeks of play. And I was even playing in regions with some friends where we were trying to help each other and build, together in one region and controlling different areas of that. So we were trying to do the whole online thing and play together and help each other, and it just never really worked out for us. We just never really got real too far and just moved on before that game did. We did much else with it. So
right.
One of the other big stories of this week, and one that I am totally fucking stoked for,
good segue, Joe.
is the release of the PS4. So I can't say I'm a Sony fanboy. I can't say I'm a Microsoft fanboy. I can't say I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I pretty much had all consoles over the years. So it's PS4 is the one I'm getting first right now for this generation. I skipped Wii U just because I really did not see any games on the Wii U in the past year that I've really wanted to play since that console has come out. But the PS4, there's a lot of good things that I'm just really stoked to play. Watch Dogs was supposed to be the game I was supposed to get from Amazon as my launch day console bundle. And as we know, Watch Dogs is delayed for 6 to 8 months. So that's probably not coming out until sometime next year. So the 3 games I'm probably going to be picking up for launch day are going to be Assassin's Creed 4, FIFA 13, or FIFA 14, whatever the heck it is, and Knack, because I think Knack has some co-op play in it, and I could probably do that with the wife. That's probably a game that she could probably get into. So I figured that would be the 3rd game I would play. But yes, I'm really excited for that. Launch day happens to be my birthday, so it can't get any better than this, that a fucking game system launches on your birthday. It's pretty much destiny.
Yeah, but didn't you say that your wife just invited like 30 million people over to your house for your birthday too?
We will have to wait and see what happens Friday evening. There may be a birthday party at my house Friday, probably about the same time the UPS guy gets here, so it should be really fucking interesting.
You're going to be like trying to hurry everybody out the door. Get out, I want to play on PS4.
Now I'll just walk in the living room and just start setting everything up. They all know it wouldn't be the first time I've done that. So,
like, oh, Joe just doing his thing.
My parents were here. They'd probably just expect me to do that. So, as well as my brothers as well.
Nice. I am actually skipping out on the next gen consoles right now because I'm really weird about consoles. I'm always that asshole that starts getting the PS2 when the PS3 comes out. So
yeah, because you were just saying you might get a PS3 soon.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to pick up a PS3 before too long. Mostly because I'm missing out on some of the console-only RPGs I like to play, like Final Fantasy. More specifically, I want to get all 3 of the Final Fantasy 13 games and play through those. There's a couple other games on PS3 I want to play too. I've always wanted to play, what the hell was the name of that one? Heavy Rain, I think it is.
Yes, yeah, I have that on PS3.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play that. It looks so good, and I've never, I don't have a PS3 because, I'm like I said, I'm that CenturyLink gaming asshole. So, PS3's coming pretty soon. I just, I've got so many things on order right now. They got the new microphone coming, which is still MIA. I have no idea why that thing's not here yet.
Well, you should be able to get the system in most of those games for fairly cheap.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out though if I want to get, because I keep looking. I know GameStop's not the only outlet for this, but I keep looking on there, and the price difference between like a refurbished system and a new one really isn't all that different.
Right.
I mean, there's like a margin of maybe $75 between them, and it's not really worth it for me to just take the refurb and then, cheat myself with a possibly bad system and then just go for a new one.
Yeah.
And the games I want to get are going for really dirt cheap. So
yeah, unless you know a friend or something that's selling their console or something, I would probably say just go new.
yeah,
I mean, although there's going to be a ton of people turning theirs in this next week or so, so the prices of the used systems may plummet here because they're probably going to have so many. Because I know some of the stores, I think GameStop was offering. I'm not a huge GameStop fan. I have not shopped there in a long time.
Right.
So you won't hear me talking about them too often, but I think they were giving like 90% extra bonus on trade-ins of some of the games and consoles and stuff like that. So you may be able to come up with one here at a pretty decent price here, maybe for the holiday season. So,
yeah, that was the other thing too, is like Black Friday's right around the corner.
Yeah, definitely wait till then.
Yeah, I'm probably sitting at a pretty prime point to get a PS3 and some games with that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just hedging my bets right now, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Now, after you play Heavy Rain, the company or the publisher that made that, or the developers that did that, Quantum Dreams or something, I think. Yeah, Quantic Dreams. They just released Beyond Two Souls, which is it's not. I don't think it has. I have not played it. I don't believe it doesn't have anything to do with the story of Heavy Rain, but it's another game similar to that that you would probably like as well. And that one's probably just a month or so old. I don't think that one was released too long ago.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah,
it was released about a month ago. October 8th is when it was released.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Like, I really like those kind of drama. I like different, drama horror games and stuff like that. And I think that would be right up my alley. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I want to get into that really bad. So.
Yeah. So I'm picking up PS4. Nothing against the Xbox One. I'm sure they're both gonna do very well this holiday season. For all the stuff that Microsoft is offering with the Xbox One, I am not a huge NFL fan. My wife is. And I really don't even think she does much with fantasy football. So it's.
I don't know, Joe. This is a gaming podcast. You want to talk about football?
No, hell no. Because I don't have anything to say about football. Trust me. I'm the last person you probably want to talk football with.
Yeah.
So one of the other things you were stoked about, besides my PS4 coming out this week, is BioShock Infinite, the DLC, Burial at Sea, is being released. I have not played BioShock Infinite.
Yes!
That was a game I had missed. You're playing it on the PC, though, aren't you?
Yeah, okay, again, so, CenturyLink Gamer here. I actually just picked up BioShock Infinite for last Friday, which would have been 3 days ago. And I just got completely sucked into the game, and I've already completed it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going back through and trying to beat it on the harder difficulties to get the Chiefs. The one game mode on their 1999 mode is supposed to be extremely difficult, but I need to do harder than 1999 mode. The game is freaking gorgeous. I mean, I got dinged when I first installed it. It's like, your graphics card's old, bro. You might want to fix that. And I was telling you about that.
Yes.
I'm like, it's pretty bad when the game tells me my graphics card's fucked. So I'm just like...
Well, from what you told me you have, it kind of is, I hate to say there, buddy.
Yeah, it needs to come out. I think we're at the Radeon HD 9000 series now, and I'm still rocking a 4670, so yeah, we might need to fix that. Anyways, the game is gorgeous to look at, and I know it's such an amazing story, an amazing game, and I haven't played the first two BioShock games, but from what I'm told, it's a big departure from the first two, and the story is kind of not connected in any way. Only hints of the first two games exist in BioShock Infinite. I've heard people say that they kind of bastardized the mechanic system in it, but it's still a fantastic game. It really is. Tomorrow, they are releasing the Burial at Sea DLC, which is supposed to be a extra story that uses the BioShock Infinite engine and the BioShock Infinite characters, but it takes them back to the city that was in the first two BioShock games, Rapture, which is down below the ocean. I haven't been able to find out too much detail about the story, what's going to be involved with Burial at Sea. But I am really freaking stoked to play this. It looks amazing, and I am going to be doing a Let's Play with that too.
Cool.
So I'm hoping to really waste more time on this one too. There's supposed to be a second episode of Burial at Sea. I don't know when that release date is, but if you didn't purchase the season pass, you will have to buy these DLCs separate. The season pass will give you all the DLCs that have been released and are coming up. So you will get Burial at Sea tomorrow. You will get episode 2 whenever it comes out. But it really looks amazing. If you're a BioShock Infinite fan or are looking forward to this, be sure to grab it tomorrow.
Yeah, like I said, I had not played the latest BioShock Infinite. I played some of the first and some of the second. I don't think I finished either one. Both of them were really good games. The first one, where you're actually going through and playing through the beginning part of Rapture and everything like that, was really, really cool. I remember when that one first came out, and I think I had rented that from GameFly. And I enjoyed that game. That game was pretty cool. The different plasmids and stuff that you could shoot into yourself and stuff. That was really kind of a neat concept and everything. It was kind of cool.
I probably will. I mean, I will go back and play the first 2 BioShock games. It's just a matter of when. And I'm pretty, like I said, tomorrow when Burial at Sea comes out, I mean, I'm definitely not going to be going back and playing the first 2 anytime soon because I'm still completely entrenched with just the BioShock Infinite core game and then the DLCs. But as soon as I'm done with it, I'm definitely going to go back and get the first 2 and play those.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about Infinite. Great reviews. I've heard, like what you said, the graphics are supposed to be really, really incredible.
Yeah,
on the game.
Trust me, Joe. It is a beautiful game to look at. It really is. Just the way the colors hit you, the way they're contrasted off of each other, and it is just very well done. Very, very well done.
Cool.
Probably one of the best games I've played all year, and that's saying a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I will go out and say that BioShock Infinite is probably one of the best games I've played this year.
Nice. So shall we jump into what I'm playing now? Maybe talk about a couple of the games maybe we played over the weekend and stuff.
Sure. I think we covered what I've been playing all weekend.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much is what it sounds like.
I mean, that's all I did. That's all I did was BioShock Infinite and Game of Thrones.
Oh, jeez, that's a hell of a combination.
Yeah, I mean it's freaking. I got Game of Thrones on one TV, and I'm sitting here like playing BioShock Infinite, and yeah, that wasn't good.
So some of the stuff I hit over the weekend, I got into the Hearthstone beta a while ago. So of course I was playing Hearthstone every now and then. For those of you that don't know, and I'd be surprised if you don't, Hearthstone's basically a card game being put out by Blizzard, the people who make World of Warcraft. It's actually a pretty decent game. Very kind of, I don't want to say a dumbed down version of Magic the Gathering, but it's a very simplified version of Magic the Gathering, I would say. It's still in closed beta. I think open beta is supposed to happen actually fairly soon. I thought I read in one of my news feeds this morning that at BlizzCon over the weekend they mentioned that open beta was going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. I thought the next month. Yeah. So I think that's supposed to happen pretty soon. And for right now, it's fun to play. I don't know if it's going to keep me playing a card game as long as Magic had me playing back in the day, because I was fairly big into Magic back in the day. But it's kind of fun right now. I'm leveling up my characters, getting new decks of cards. It is kind of fun to open up the booster packs and see some of the different cards you come out. And when they say you got a rare card or a powerful card, it's the way they say it. It's kind of really cool and everything. And it brings back some of that nostalgia of opening up packs of Magic on release days when they would come out with the new expansions, and you would just open up a whole box of cards and just try to put together a set and trade with everybody. So it's pretty batshit crazy.
Man, you're buzzing like a mother over there tonight.
I think that was something on Twitter or something. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
My phone's always blowing up.
I think we were talking about this before. Like I did Magic cards and stuff. Those are always really fun. I was also really big into, and I will openly admit this, I was really big into Pokemon cards. Very, very big into them, actually.
Show's over. We're done.
Yep.
That's where I'm drawing the fucking line.
You pansy son of a bitch. No.
I know quite a few people that played Pokemon, but they're all around your age, so.
I mean, I used to go to the little leagues or whatever that they had, where it was just like open forum tournaments and stuff, and it was chaos, to say the least. And some of them got really intense. It's actually a really good game. It is core mechanic. It's a very good game, but it's kind of drowned out in the fact that it's Pokemon, unfortunately.
Right.
Had it been something else with that mechanic, I think it would have been a little bit better. Especially, it would have aged better, I should say. I mean, they're still pushing out new Pokemon cards as it stands, but it's just not something you can really get into, especially me anymore. I just can't bring myself to get into it. But oh yeah, opening those new expansion packs and seeing the new 11 cards that you had in there or something. I mean, it was just like Christmas Day,
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a very good feeling.
Yeah, and then spending the time to tweak your deck, change your strategy around, that kind of thing. It was really cool.
So a couple other things I hit over the weekend in playing. I was playing a little FTL off of Steam. FTL is Faster Than Light, kind of a little space travel game. You go around with a crew of people and you try to get to the end of the zones before this wave of evil doers come after you. Kind of a neat little game. I think I picked it up on sale off of Steam. I think I still have yet to beat it. I've made it to the final zone before, but I've actually never finished that final zone. So that's something I actually want to try to do. And I just keep playing around with it. It's something I don't put a heck of a lot of time into. I just play it for a couple of games here or there and then move on to something else.
Right.
One of the other games I think I told you about yesterday that I played a little bit in beta was Path of Exile.
Mm-hmm.
Which is almost like a Diablo 2 type of clone. I don't want to say it's like Diablo 3, although it's probably close. But it's a free-to-play game, and actually what these guys have done for being a free-to-play game is actually pretty cool. The graphics are really good. The gameplay is pretty good. The combat system is good. The loot is really good. You're constantly getting loot drops. And the skill tree is just fucking batshit crazy. It is just huge if you go in there and look at the skill tree. I mean, it reminds me of the skill tree from Final Fantasy X back on the PS2, I think it was.
Really?
I mean, the way it's just a circular type of grid system, it's just... When I first saw that, I was like, this reminds me of Final Fantasy X.
Is there... I need to find a picture of that because I loved the sphere grid system in Final Fantasy X. I thought that was a fantastic leveling system for your character.
Yeah, that's how their skill system is in Path of Exile. So to give it a download, we were talking about this last night. Give it a download, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think you'll like this game.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into this because if it's like that, I just found pictures for it. Holy shit!
Yeah, that
is amazing.
Crazy. Yep, I told you.
That is, it's so big.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Contain yourself, there, Greg. Contain yourself.
So we're downloading this shit.
Well, we got to get through the podcast first before you can start downloading stuff. Don't be killing your bandwidth right now.
Well, I can't download it tonight. I can't download it tomorrow because I got to download Burial Seed first.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to end up doing it either Wednesday or near the end of the week. I'll download it. We'll have to give it a go.
Yeah, we'll have to try to meet up in game because I think you can do some grouping and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So one of the other games I was taking a poke at this weekend, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen on the PS3. That was one of the PS3 free games of the week. I am a PlayStation Plus member, which if you own a PS3 and you aren't, you are dumb. For $50 a year, for $50 a year, all the games that you get for free is flipping insane. And some of them are really, really good games. Dragon's Dogma is pretty good. I've been playing some Hotline Miami off of there. Just everything that's been released lately has been a pretty decent game. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, that game had me playing it for a couple of weeks. I was really into that game. I was really enjoying that. And it's nice to be able to play longer than what you can do it in some of the demos. I don't finish a lot of these games because there's just so many that you can download. But it's nice to be able to actually, play a game a little bit longer than what the demo is. And some of them I have finished, but definitely not all of them, because there's just too many that they offer. So,
right.
Other than that, we are to the final section of the show, which is what we want to play. Basically, what I want to play is the PS4. I just want to have this console already. I've been dying for this thing.
Just want to hold it like a little babby.
Yeah, I've been clamoring for this thing for the past ever since the release date was announced. Back at E3 when they were talking about it, and I ordered it basically 2 days later, I think.
Yeah, you jumped on that bandwagon really quick.
I knew what I wanted. And I knew it was going to be the PS3 or the PS4. I mean, one of the other games that I'm really looking forward to is actual board game, kind of like a card game, Pathfinder adventure card game, Rise of the Rune Lords. I had told my wife this would be an outstanding Christmas gift if she wouldn't mind getting this for me. It's kind of like playing a game of D&D but with cards. If you were to watch any of the YouTube videos on there, kind of like people out there playing it, doing like Let's Plays like you do for the video games, and I want to start doing some Let's Plays too on the video games. I found some people out there playing Pathfinder, and it looks like it's really, really cool.
Nice.
And I've heard from some of the gaming podcasts I'm listening to, board game podcasts, they've all given it really, really, really good reviews. So that's one that that's out now, and it's something that I told the wife would make a very, very good Christmas gift. So I am hoping to be playing that sometime, hopefully around the holidays, if I can squeeze that in between some of the PS4 playing time. So what about you? Is there anything you're really interested in playing besides the Burial at Sea DLC?
I really don't think so at this point. I think that's really the thing that's going to be eating my time away. I do want to play Path of Exile, though. That skill tree alone just sold me, which is sad because that's like, taking a look at the box art, I'm like, ooh, that game looks amazing. I actually want to get back into playing. I want to get back into playing Monopoly, and I know that sounds really dumb, but I fucking love Monopoly. I really do. It's such an amazing game.
Kim and I play it on the 360 because we have Monopoly Streets on the 360. So we play that one on the 360 quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fun because we'll sit there and drink, and then we start betting real life stuff and trading real life stuff for all the in-game things. Like if she has stuff, I'm like, well, I'll give you this, or I'll do this for you. If you give me these couple of cards, so it can get pretty crazy.
You start trading real stuff, wouldn't that technically be considered like Indian giving?
Not
because
really.
It's technically your stuff and her stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you could say that. It's our stuff.
Nobody loses.
Yeah, no, nobody does really. It's fun.
The other thing too, I want to actually get back into playing Tetris. For some reason, Tetris is an extraordinarily relaxing game for me. It's very, very relaxing.
What? Relaxing?
Oh, yeah, man.
From what I remember about Tetris, there is nothing damn relaxing about Tetris.
No, dude. I
remember playing Tetris back on the original Game Boy, the green screen one.
Yeah.
We had it. My brothers had it. My brother had one, and I used to play. When we used to go on trips, I would take it from him, and I would play that damn thing constantly, Tetris.
Oh, man. I've killed so many hours on Tetris. I actually don't like the new ones. I like the old one for NES or the Game Boy version.
That's insanity.
I can play that thing for hours, man. Literally play that game for hours.
That's just pure insanity.
I don't know. It is. It's just so relaxing to me. And it doesn't bother me that the game gets more difficult. It doesn't bother me that the blocks fall faster. I just enjoy playing the game for some reason. It's like my version of Rubik's Cube, just not as aggravating.
Yeah.
So, that's, The Burial at Sea, Path of Exile, and Monopoly and Tetris. Those
Cool.
are my big things I want to get back into. I want to try to, anyways. So.
Well, we have some things to play. We have things we're playing, and I think we're at the end of our very first pilot episode.
Yeah. Joe, are you pumped about this?
I am pretty stoked about this. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be pretty fun to sit here and talk about games once a week, considering how much I damn do play them and how much everybody is always asking me about them, both computer games, video games, and everything at work. No matter where I go, people are always asking me what's coming out, what's latest stuff, because I try to read pretty much everything out there that I can get my hands on and just kind of keep up on everything. So everybody's always like, well, what's coming out new? It just doesn't have to be, as you can tell, everything we've talked about has hit everything. We've done board games, PC games, we've hit pretty much all the consoles.
52 card pickup.
Yeah, I mean, and this is pretty much what it's going to be like every week. We're going to just hit the gambit of everything. You know, we're not just staying into one console, one type of system or anything. So I think this is pretty much the type of format I think we had originally discussed, and I think this first one came off pretty well, I must say.
Well, you know, Joe, as they always say.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for our pilot episode.
We gotta do the plugs, man.
Oh, plugs. Okay. I'm not really too sure what you want me to plug. I mean, we're working on the website, which is going to be whatimplayingnow.com.
Absolutely.
We do have a Facebook page. Mm-hmm. What I'm Playing Now is on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I do have a quick Twitter account. It's What I'm Playing Now. Drop the G. Why? Because Twitter hates having too many letters in the damn name.
Are we like slanging it, yo?
Yeah, I guess so. I really wasn't too thrilled about that one. I was trying to think of the best way to come up with a name that would actually fit within the fucking world of Twitter, which I was sitting there and I typed in What I'm Playing Now, and it got up to the O and now, and I'm like, seriously, Twitter? You're stopping here? I need one more fucking letter.
Hey, man, you know, 140 characters for a tweet? Might as well limit the names, too.
Yeah, why not? So,
whatever.
Yeah, so we're What I'm Playing Now. Drop the G, and that's where we are going to be putting our tweets from. So, just keep an eye on everything. We're gonna have a YouTube page for What I'm Playing Now. It's going to be under my name, I think, right now, Joe Luzzi. I'm going to see if I can just get that actually turned over to a What I'm Playing Now type account. And then this way we can both upload stuff to it. And it's not just under my name. And then we'll let you know when the actual website's actually done. We still need to do some work on that, and we will get it up and running. You can follow me on Twitter at AVR Amadar. I do have a website where I'm actually posting some of the stuff that I'm playing now. It's basically www.avramadar.com, just like my Twitter handle. I have that domain. If you want to email us, you can email us at whatimplayingnow@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the first show. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. And we will try to incorporate that into the show. We're pretty much flexible in what we're doing. I think we have a decent idea of how we want to run the show and what we want on here. So you can reach Greg. Follow him on Twitter.
It's Greg. Yeah, mine's pretty simple. I got lucky. It's at Greg F. Martin.
There you go.
My website is also the same, gregfmartin.com. It's I post my Linux and programming technical jargon up there or whatever. So if you're interested in, reading all that kind of crap, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, we're going to be doing. I want to do lots of stuff, man. Let's plays, cover a whole bunch of stuff. I just want to take this, just run with it, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of ideas we have for this show. A lot of things that we want to do with games. So you're definitely going to be hearing a lot more from us coming up. And this is just the pilot episode, and we just wanted to try to get our feet wet with this a little bit and just get at least the first show done. It's not like this is our true first podcast. I mean, I've been doing Linux install now for over 4 years, I think. Brian and I have been doing that one. So it's just time to start talking games though and having some fun.
I'm a baby podcaster. We're doing an audio version of this as well if anybody's interested. But we actually don't have a host set up yet. So I'm going to be putting it on my SoundCloud, and I will push it out to Google Plus, and then we'll kind of just cascade it down from there. So
that sounds good. So right now, people, just let us know what you're playing now, because that's what we're going to let you know next week when we're back. Have a good one, everybody.
Peace.